कही कि हनुमान जी जिस तरह आपके पीछे विराजमान थे, उनके 10 डाउनिंग स्ट्रीट पर एक गणेश जी विराजमान है जो उन्हें प्रेरित करते हैं और आपने उन्हें शिवलिंग दिया।
मैं बस खुश हुआ कि वो अपने टेबल पर या तो अपने ऑफिस पर गणेश जी को रखते हैं। वही गणेश उसके जीवन में जो जो बाधाएं आएगी, जो विघ्न आएंगे, उसको हटाए।
He's very humble, and I think the fact that he came, as you said, as a Hindu today and not just the Prime Minister, what stood out to me the most, apart from serving prashad and speaking to everybody, was the fact that he went and said hello to, and greeted every musician that has come with Bapu from India.
Yeah.
He sort of went to the front of the stage and he met all of them individually, which was really nice of him, and I think it says a lot about him.
I can see Prime Minister Rishi Sunak being very inspired by Morari Bapu in his lifelong service and his dedication, commitment to culture and spirituality, our Hindu Sanatan Dharma. And we clearly see that our Prime Minister reads the Bhagavad Gita, sings Hanuman Chalisa, which we've heard before, and he's accepted that those are influencing his actions and his thoughts in leading the country.
The Musk versus Zuckerberg war intensifies amid the much anticipated Musk versus Zuckerberg cage fight. The ex-owner Elon Musk has said he will be going to Mark Zuckerberg's house, and the cage match could actually take place if the Meta boss answers the door. Here's a detailed report.
Will they or won't they get into a fight? That's the billion-dollar question. For nearly a month now, the world has been waiting for a Musk versus Zuck cage fight. And it now seems that we may be closer to an epic showdown between the Silicon Valley titans. In the latest, the Tesla CEO and owner of X has signaled his acceptance of Zuckerberg's martial arts fights proposal. The twist comes, he posted on his virtual playground, "Knock knock, challenge accepted, open the door." The twist comes days after Zuckerberg expressed skepticism about the likelihood of this fight. Taking to ex-rival threads, the Facebook founder said that Musk isn't serious about a cage fight and it's time to move on. Zuckerberg had previously proposed August 26 for the fight. Musk has now raised the stakes by declaring that he will ask the Tesla full self-driving car to drive to Zuckerberg's house, and that the duo's adventure will be live-streamed on the new X live-streamed video feature. The Tesla CEO has said that he is lifting weights throughout the day preparing of the fight. Zuckerberg, on the other hand, is a practitioner of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and won gold and silver in 2 featherweight white belt categories at California Martial Arts Tournament in May. The saga began with Musk's casual age match offer and gained momentum as the duo continued a war of words. Will Musk make a dramatic entrance at Zuckerberg's doorstep? This could be the most suspenseful thriller of our times. Bureau Report, India Today.
Into a very short break. Coming up next, fissures in Mahavikas Aghadi over allegation of cabinet berth offer to Sharad Pawar. UBT Sena says Ajit Pawar is not big enough to offer cabinet berths to Sharad Pawar. Details on the other side.
You are watching India Today.
it's always fun to see one of your favorite celebrities become a showstopper for these couturiers. And a lot of Bollywood made its way to the Couture Week this year in Delhi. Right from Ranbir Kapoor to Bhumi Pednekar, Ananya Pandey, Kiara Advani, Vani Kapoor, you name it, and they graced the runway. Here is all the celebrity action.
The 16th edition of India Couture Week, organized by FTCI, saw Bollywood celebrities turn showstoppers. Right from Ranbir Kapoor to Kiara Advani, one saw a plethora of celebrities spruce up the runway.
I feel like a golden girl. I feel very glamorous, but I also feel very comfortable, and I always have a great time working with Rimzim. And it's always there's lots of chaotic energy at Fashion Week, but somehow I managed to keep my calm, I think.
It's a beautiful, beautiful embroidered jacket, and they decided to go without the shirt with this really interesting tie. They have a nice little emblem on it, and I think it's elegant and cool and suave and new all at once.
It feels like it's just growing on my body, the textile, the fabric. It's so sexy. I love the way it hugs my curves. It just makes me feel strong, like I can conquer anything.
It's about imagination coming to life. Literally about imagination coming to life. And for that, I mean, just look at this. We can literally sit here and stare at it.
While the focus is never on the celebrities, but the celebration of art and craft in India, it never really hurts to see celebrities glam up the runway. Indian influencers spruced up the front rows. Bahar Dhawan to Sukhneet Vadva, there were plenty of them adding glamour.
So, I mean, I was like literally like, oh my God, what a moment for us. Such great designs, intricate work, absolutely stunning collection.
In New Delhi with Riya Modi, Lifestyle Bureau, India Today.
Sorry.
मिले दिल मेरा तुम्हारा तो देश बने हमारा यूपी के माफिया बुलडोजर से डर के मिट्टी में मिले चैन की सब सांस लेके खुशियाँ झलके झलके मिले दिल मेरा तुम्हारा मिट जाए दर्द घट जाए मरज मुफ्त मिले सब क्या है हरज ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਸੁਰ ਮਿਲੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਦਿਲ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਜੋ ਬੋਲੇ ਸੋਨੀ ਹਾਲ ਸਤਿ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ तुम्हारे सुर हमारे सुर खिला होता रहे जरूर मिले सुर जो हमरा तुम्हारा बना रहे गठबंधन न्यारा मामा का है एक ही नारा रहे ना कोई मुसीबत का मारा अपना इंडिया जब चले तो पूरा भारत ही जुड़े नफरतों की बात ना हो प्यार हो हल्के हल्के मेरे दिल मेरा तुम्हारा मेरे दिल मेरा तुम्हारा तो देश बने हमारा तो देश बने हमारा
Very good afternoon. You're watching India Today. I'm Nabila Jamal. Let me start with the headlines first. Fissures in the Maharashtra's Maha Aghadi partnership over allegations of Sharat's birth offer. UBT Sena says that Ajit Pawar is not big enough to offer births to Sharat. Congress says Pawar will benefit BJP. Massive political war over renaming Nehru Memorial. Congress says that Modi is defaming Nehru's legacy. Museum official rebuts, says Nehru's legacy covered in detail. And Delhi Congress versus AAP rages on. The Congress leader calls Aam Aadmi Party a B team of the BJP. Says it wanted services control only to shield corrupt netas. Hiccups in the India unity is a question. A Delhi woman kills live-in partner's minor son, stuffs body inside a box bed. Cops probe 300 CCTVs to nab the murder accused. Sunny Deol starrer Gadar 2 has clocked the highest Independence Day numbers for any Indian film until date.
सड़क में एक मोड़ आया मैं उठे दिल छोड़ आया.
Rishi Sunak attends Ram Katha at Cambridge. UK Prime Minister performs puja, distributes a prasad, says my Hindu faith guides me, chants Jai Siya Ram.
Jai Siya Ram. Bapu, I'm here today not as Prime Minister, but as a Hindu.
All right, cutting straight to Tamil Nadu, the DMK is now holding a statewide hunger strike on August 20th against NEET examinations. They've been protesting against the concept of NEET itself. They organized protests to condemn the union government and the governor for not giving approvals for anti-NEET bill to be passed by the Tamil Nadu Assembly. In fact, Shilpa Nair is in fact with us. This is a decision, Shilpa, that the DMK has now taken to go on a statewide protest. And we know it's been years since, at least since the DMK came to power in Tamil Nadu, they've been trying to push the bill in the Assembly. In fact, they've approached the governor multiple times with the same request, but nothing fruitful has come through. And now with the suicide of the son, of the father and son, in fact, the boy who had failed NEET examinations twice, the DMK has really upped the ante.
Well, absolutely, Nabila, and like you rightly pointed out, ever since DMK came to power, they've been trying to push to ban NEET. They, in fact, got a bill passed in the Assembly banning NEET in Tamil Nadu, but that bill, of course, is yet to get approval from the President of India. It was first sent to the governor, and the governor had forwarded it to the President for her approval. So that, of course, is still pending, and that is precisely what the DMK has mentioned in its statement announcing this protest. The DMK says they've been, urging the union government to ban NEET despite the number of student suicides in the state, despite the socio-economic, discrimination that NEET poses. The union government is not giving assent to this bill passed by the Tamil Nadu Assembly, and that is the reason why the DMK has now decided several wings of the DMK, which is the students wing, the youth wing, the medical wing, all of them jointly have issued a statement stating that they will be staging a hunger strike, or they will be observing a fast on August 20th in all district headquarters of the party. And this, of course, we can, like it's rightly pointed out, DMK is upping their ante and trying to mount pressure on the union government. They are, of course, at present looking at multiple avenues. Legally, they are, of course, moving politically as well. They've been mounting pressure. The recent suicide of the father and son in Chennai because of the NEET exam, that is, of course, the recent trigger for this particular protest. And the DMK at this point in time has announced statewide hunger strike on August 20th, condemning the union government for not giving approval for the anti-NEET bill, and also condemning the governor of Tamil Nadu, R.N. Ravi, for making the remarks against NEET. Because remember, there was a video that has gone viral which showed the governor saying that he'll be the last man to give approval for a bill banning NEET. And that, of course, had not gone down well with the DMK here in Tamil Nadu. So that is the reason why they've announced this protest.
All right, Shilpa, thank you very much for joining us on that. Clearly, the DMK has been now upping the ante against the centre to scrap NEET, the format of examinations to select medical students itself. Now, following the deaths by suicide of a teen medical course aspirant and his father over alleged NEET-related stress, Tamil Nadu Chief Minister M.K. Stalin has now batted for banning NEET completely, and he chose to speak on that extensively even during his Independence Day address. Let's have a quick look at this detailed report.
A tragic double suicide in Chennai of a father and son that's numbing India. A teen medical aspirant took his life, leaving his father shattered with nobody left to live for. The father also died by suicide 48 hours later. 19-year-old Jagadiswaran was reportedly depressed over 2 failed attempts to pass the competitive NEET exam, and so took his own life at his house in Chennai. His devastated father broke down when he spoke to the media soon after, with an appeal to the government to immediately block NEET in Tamil Nadu as they had promised.
The repeater ஒழிச்சாதான் எல்லா பசங்களும் நல்லா இருப்பாங்க. ஐயா ஸ்டாலின் ஐயா வந்த உடனே முதல் வாக்குறுதி அதான் கொடுத்தார். குழந்தையெல்லாம் காப்பாற்றுறேன், நீட்டை கேன்சல் பண்ணுறேன்னார். இது வரைக்கும் எதுவுமே பண்ணல. என்ன மாதிரி நிறைய சிங்கிள் பேரண்ட் எனக்கு வந்த மாதிரி எந்த அப்பாவுக்கும் எந்த குழந்தைகளுக்கும் எதுவுமே நடக்கக்கூடாது. அது முதல்வர் ஐயாவும் உதயநிதி ஐயாவும் தான் பேசி கனிமொழி அம்மாவும் பேசி தான் அதை தீர்த்து வைக்கணும்.
The tragic incident has sparked a NEET debate once again in Tamil Nadu. Chief Minister M.K. Stalin, in his Independence Day address, batted for shifting education to the state list of the Constitution from the concurrent list.
மக்களுக்கு நேரடி தொடர்பு கொண்ட அனைத்தும் மாநில பட்டியலில் இணைக்கப்பட வேண்டும். குறிப்பாக கல்வி மாநில பட்டியலுக்கு மாற்றப்பட வேண்டும். அதை செய்தால்தான் நீட் போன்ற கொடூரமான தேர்வு முறை முற்றிலுமாக அகற்றப்பட முடியும்.
The BJP and DMK are trading barbs over the NEET examination.
மிகவும் கண்டிக்கத்தக்க ஒரு விஷயம். ஒன்றிய பாஜக அரசு ஆனால் இதையெல்லாம் வந்து காதில் போட்டுக்காம மாணவர்களுடைய வாழ்க்கையில் விளையாண்டுட்டு இருக்காங்க. ஆரம்பத்திலேருந்தே நம்ம சொல்லிட்டு இருக்கிறது நீட் தேர்வை ரத்து செய்யுங்க அப்படின்னு தான் கேட்டுக்கிட்டு இருக்கோம். 2 முறை சட்டசபையில் தீர்மானம் நிறைவேற்றி அமைச்சிருக்கிறோம். இங்கே இருக்கக்கூடிய ஆளுநர் வந்து தமிழ்நாட்டு மக்களுடைய மனநிலையை பற்றி எதுவுமே தெரியாமல் நம்முடைய திராவிட முன்னேற்ற கழகம் ஏற்கனவே சொன்ன மாதிரி தொடர்ந்து சட்ட போராட்டத்தை நடத்தும்.
This is a Supreme Court order that NEET has come to, in existence. So we need to understand that even students from 10th and 12th standard in Tamil Nadu in the last, say, 4 or 5 decades, hundreds of students have committed suicide. Have we stopped 10th standard examinations? Have we stopped 12th standard studies? No. We need to educate people. The society has to get educated, and definitely the government has to talk to the students or improve the educational quality of the education.
Remember, the governor just 2 days ago, while interacting with NEET toppers, made it clear he would never sign off on an anti-NEET bill.
I am going to the president because it is a subject of concurrent list. It is a subject on which only the president is competent to give the clearance. But given to me, I shall never give it. Be sure about it. Because I like my children to grow. And I tell you for sure, there are many students who are doing it without coaching.
This unfortunately hasn't been the first such tragic NEET-related suicide, and it's always been followed up by a whole lot of empty promises on banning NEET. But is it time to have a conversation rather than the need to counsel students and provide them with the necessary psychological help to overcome failure in their life rather than take the extreme step? With Pramod Madhav in Chennai, Bureau Report, India Today.
All right, some big news from Karnataka. Siddaramaiah government now defends its decision of scrapping the national education policy in Karnataka. Education Minister Madhu Bangarappa speaks to India Today, says it was part of the Congress manifesto and that the government is only delivering their promise. Bangarappa has said that the committee will be set up to figure out a state education policy, and NEP, beg your pardon, will no more be part of the syllabus this year on. It'll be from the upcoming academic year. The syllabus will be changed. NEP will be scrapped. Madhu Bangarappa, Education Minister, speaks to India Today. Listen in.
This was a part of our program in our manifesto. So 2-3 meetings have been already done. Now we are going for a better committee, which Honorable CM is personally looking at. Basically want to have our own state education policy so that in the interest of children's, the subjects or the matters what have been taught should not be controlled on a vindictive basis or whatever it is. That's what we feel. There is nothing else, no saffronizing, anti-Congress, pro-Congress, nothing like that. It is going to be pro-students, and it has to be pro-education only.
All right, let me cut across to Nagarjun Dwarkanath joining us live for more on that. Nagarjun, give us more on the NEP that was introduced by the Basavaraj Bommai government in 2021, and it was Congress that had already promised if they come to power, they're going to scrap NEP. And as promised, the Chief Minister Siddaramaiah has announced that the following academic year will not have NEP any longer. And they've, of course, been battling a lot of questions. Tell us the challenges that they may face at this point.
Well, Nabila, it's already been 2 years since NEP was put in place in Karnataka. Karnataka was the first state and a BJP-ruled state to come into NEP, to bring in NEP. Now, the Congress government here is saying that from next year on, there will be no NEP. A state education policy will be put in place. A committee is formed by next week. Academicians will be in the committee. The CM is likely to announce, and NEP will also be removed. And next year on, there will be textbook revision also. A complete overhaul will be done by the Congress government. They feel that a lot of vindictiveness was done through the BJP government in the last 4 years. Unnecessary textbooks changes were done, and stories were removed, chapters were removed, and NEP was brought into place without knowing the pros and cons of such policies. They're going back to what was done from 2013 to 2018. A state education policy newly will be launched from next year on, because by now, academic year already had begun, so they could not meddle with the education policy right away. But they are saying that we are firm on a manifesto, a promise that NEP will be abolished and a SEP, state education policy, will be brought into place. But former CM Bommai has called it a crime and a criminal activity on the Congress government already.
Well, Nagarjun, what the Congress says is many students, parents have opposed NEP. They claim that students have been complaining that NEP is against the educational system, does not have a lot of history that has gone by, that has been very strategically omitted. A lot of changes that is not in line with the Indian Constitution. This is what the Congress blames the BJP for. Give us more on the BJP's response to this.
Well, BJP is saying that NEP talks about how local emphasis is given, how the mother tongue needs to be used. It's a 3-language policy. People in Karnataka can choose Kannada as the language, Tamil Nadu can be chosen as Tamil, and the other states can choose their native language. A student in each state can pick his own language if he wants to. If I want to study English, Hindi, and other, for example, say Urdu or a French, it completely depends on the child and the child's family and the parents. So why hate such a policy which gives more freedom and more emphasis on local language is what the BJP is saying. It was done as a holistic view, kept in holistic view from the central government, and now Karnataka successfully executed it for the last 2 years, and now the Congress government is going back on policies which was quite forward, is what the BJP is saying. The former Chief Minister Basavaraj Bommai went on to release a statement saying it's a crime of the Congress government playing with the children's future and removing the love and respect for local languages, because in NEP, a person could study or a child could study in Kannada as well, pick a Kannada as a language. And that's what the emphasis was on. But right now, we'll have to wait and watch what kind of policies will the government bring in. The state education policy will keep it a 3-language or a 2 language. All depends on the new committee that will be formed by the Chief Minister of Karnataka.
All right, it'll be interesting to see what happens and the kind of resistance that the BJP will put up. But in 2021, NEP was introduced in Karnataka by the BJP government, the first states, one of the first in the country to introduce NEP, and now the Congress government has scrapped it. Thank you, Nagarjun, for joining us on that. In fact, this is a promise to scrap the NEP in the manifesto is what the Congress says. They'd already decided that if they come to... In fact, that was a promise, the poll promise that the Congress had made if they come to power, that they will scrap NEP. So as per NEP, 3-year undergraduate degree programs will be extended to 4 years as honours degree. That was one of the provisions. In fact, the previous minister of the BJP, Sudhakar, had also directed the Board of Studies in all state universities to frame syllabus only until 5th and 6th semesters in an effort to scrap the 4-year honours degree. As per NEP now, they are going to... All right, I'm going to quickly cut across to Anaga Keshav, who brings us the former Chief Minister, Basraj Bommai, his reaction on the NEP being scrapped by Congress.
Joining us now is the former Chief Minister of Karnataka, Shri Basavaraj Bommai. Sir, thank you so much for talking to India today. So yesterday you have even requested the ruling dispensation to sort of rethink their decision into scrapping the NEP and bringing back the SEP. And you've also said, yes, of course. This is, Basavaraj Bommai with us. Even yesterday he made a comment saying that bringing back the SEP, scrapping the NEP and bringing the SEP would be a criminal waste of resources for the students. And he also requested the ruling dispensation to sort of, relook their decision into scrapping the NEP and bringing the SEP. Even we had a word with Madhu Bangarappa and he made a statement saying that the current NEP, it is vindictive in nature. Certain portions and certain syllabus, that children are made to study, they are vindictive in nature. They are completely unnecessary. Is what the current Education Minister Madhu Bangarappa said. And he even said that as we speak tonight, there will be a separate meeting between officials to sort of bring in a sort. Just 2 months back, he brought in a supplementary booklet of sorts that sort of decides which syllabus should the children be studying and which ones to be crapped out. So from the next academic year, even Chief Minister Siddaramaiah made a statement that from the next academic year, the SEP will be brought in. We are now joined by Basavaraj Bommai, sir. So Madhu Bangarappa made a statement saying that this current NEP is vindictive in nature and children should not be made to study that particular syllabus that the centre has given for them, calling them vindictive in nature. How do you see this?
See, it is not a question of syllabus. All the syllabuses are done by a task force and committees, and especially primary and secondary will all be done at the state level. So none of the things are vindictive. I want to ask the minister that let him come out which is vindictive and how it is vindictive. Just by mere making some statements with preconceived notion and to change the entire policy is very uncalled for. It is very detrimental for the future of the children of the state. I am telling you that this government is making a very, very colossal mistake and they are playing with the future of the children, which is really unpardonable. And I am warning this government not to indulge in this. If they want, they can have a detailed discussion, open discussion, and if there are anything amendments to be done to the policy, it's just a policy, it is not a rules. Yeah. So they can bring in any new things in the policy, but changing the whole thing, which is of the international standard, and bringing our children to the international level competition and growing and having a multi opportunities for education in higher education, and it is one of the best this thing, very well thought and not done overnight. The same Siddaramaiah government in 2013 to 18 has approved the draft. That sent to all universities and they got the report. They have approved the draft, and now they are going against it for mere political reason. This is totally uncalled for, and we will resist it with all our strength and under our command. And I am warning this government not to play with the future of the children. And if there is anything else, let them come out openly. Just because there is change in government doesn't mean that the change in policy. Every year you can't have new policy. What will happen to the children who have now studied 2 years in their colleges? Yeah. And all of a sudden if you change, what will happen to them? So all these questions are there. And it is not a small thing. And it's going to upset the entire education system itself. Now, a lot of training has gone through, teachers' training has gone through, and even syllabus has been discussed wide, and modern syllabuses are there, which are adopted, some of the syllabuses which are adopted internationally, adopted nationally, and adopted in both in government and private sectors. So it has been done in a very, very scientific manner. And these people who have come in government in 3 months, they are so, I never expected this government to be so vindictive about it.
So it was the same Kasturi Rangan who designed the NAP, who has also designed the SEP as well. So it's the same resources.
See, I'll tell you, Kasturi Rangan was the chairman of Knowledge Commission of Karnataka under Siddaramaiah. And the same Professor Kasturi Rangan is the head of the task force who formulated this new education policy. And a lot of Karnataka education eminents were there in the task force. And they have done it 3-4 years. They asked all the opinions of the state, different institutions, different people in walks of life, and they formulated. After formulating, when we wanted to implement, we also set a task force here for implementation, and that was headed by once again Kasturi Rangan. Kasturi Rangan is a very eminent and very, very highly respected person. That's right. He's a scientist as well as an educationalist. That's right. And he has done such a beautiful job, and unbiased he has done. What for him? So none. Yeah, it is pure politics.
All right, I'm cutting across to big political news coming in from Maharashtra. The ex-Maharashtra Chief Minister now lashes out at Sharad Pawar over meat, says Sharad Pawar must clear his stand. Ashok Chavan says that confusion over Pawar's stand, whether he is with us, that is the India Alliance, or is he with the BJP, the NDA. This is the ex-Chief Minister of Maharashtra, Ashok Chavan, who raises questions on Sharad Pawar's stand. And in fact, Sharad Pawar has been wobbly when it comes to showing his allegiance. He was surely part of the India Alliance meet that was scheduled in Bengaluru, the entire meeting, that meeting that had multiple alliance partners. Sharad Pawar did represent his camp. He was very much present, but right after there were events that developed, including one event where Prime Minister Modi was honoured, where Sharad Pawar and Prime Minister Modi's born home, he was clearly visible. Let's listen in Ashok Chavan as he raises questions.
हमारे गठबंधन में कोई कंफ्यूजन नहीं है. जहां तक कांग्रेस का सवाल है, कांग्रेस हो या शिवसेना उद्धव ठाकरे जी की, उसमें कोई कंफ्यूजन नहीं है. एनसीपी के बारे में निश्चित तौर पर उन्होंने कहा है कि हमारा ये फैमिली इशू है और हमारा इसमें कोई ऐसी कोई राजनीतिक भूमिका नहीं है. पर मेरे को लगता है कि लोगों में उसके गलत सिग्नल्स जा रहे हैं उसके वजह से, और लगातार ये चीजें आने से एक लोगों में एक संभ्रम का वातावरण निर्माण हुआ है. उसको जितना जल्दी दूर करेंगे.
All right, and you have Sharad Pawar's daughter Supriya Sule now denies claims of Ajit Pawar's cabinet offer to Sharad or to her. Sule says that there has been no such dialogue or any offer that was made. She's also taken a swipe at the Ally Congress for speculating on such an offer. While you had Ashok Chavan clearly asking Sharad Pawar to make his stand clear, Supriya Sule has now come out to say that the Congress is making baseless speculations. They must end this, and it's not true. Ajit Pawar has not offered them a cabinet berth.
मैं आपको सीधा जवाब ही दूंगी. मुझे किसी ने कोई ऑफर नहीं दिया है. सिर्फ 15 अगस्त का एक बड़ा सेल चल रहा है बहुत जगह, तो इसलिए कुछ महंगाई इतनी बढ़ी है, तो शक्कर आटा कुछ सेल चल रहे हैं बहुत सारे ग्रोसरी स्टोर्स में. मैंने पेपर में पढ़ा, वो ऑफर मुझे पता है, बाकी कोई ऑफर मुझे. कांग्रेस पार्टी के लोग, कांग्रेस ने जो सवाल किए है उसका जवाब कांग्रेस ही दे सकती है, मैं नहीं दे सकती, क्योंकि मुझे कुछ पता ही नहीं है इस बारे में. ना मुझे किसी ने ऑफर दिया है, ना किसी ने मुझसे बात की है. तो आई कांट कमेंट ऑन समथिंग व्हिच इज हाइपोथेटिकल एंड आई डोंट.
All right, I'm cutting across to Ritwik Balekar for more. Ritwik, it's quite clear now that there seems to be cracks and lack of trust, rather, between the alliance partners, the Maha Agadi partners. Now, you had Sharad Pawar meeting Ajit Pawar in a secret, closed-door meet. No one knows what that meeting was all about. And there's a lot of speculation and buzz that Sharad Pawar has been invited to join the BJP and he'll be rightfully rewarded for it. Give us all the political reactions pouring in.
So the reaction from Supriya Sule was expected. It was about to come because since yesterday there was this buzz, and especially from Congress leaders, it was been told that in the recent meeting which was held between Ajit Pawar and Sharad Pawar last Saturday in Pune, had a big offer coming in for Sharad Pawar from central leadership of BJP, and that through from the means of Ajit Pawar. It is being said that union cabinet berth has been offered to Sharad Pawar as well as his daughter and MP Supriya Sule. Also, they will be inducted in Maharashtra's cabinet expansion, which is on its way. So the offers are coming way to Sharad Pawar, but Sharad Pawar has outrightly rejected these offers, is what sources are telling us. And amid all these talks, it is for sure that the sympathy which is being garnered by Sharad Pawar is depleting because of such meetings, the so-called secret meetings, and also the ambiguity in his party.
Now, you have Ashok Chavan, who's just spoken, Ritwik. Ashok Chavan asked Sharad Pawar to make his stand clear. So what really is the delay in Sharad Pawar himself coming out and speaking to the media? We heard Supriya Sule saying that these allegations are baseless, but we'd still like to hear Sharad Pawar. His supporters, his camp members are probably eager to get a word from him.
Absolutely. This is being said not only by Ashok Chavan, but also Prithviraj Chavan, who is an ex-CM of Congress, Nana Patole, who is Maharashtra's Congress state president, and also Sanjay Raut has been repeatedly saying that there should be clarity about this meeting, and the Shiv Sena's Uddhav camp mouthpiece Samna editorial also hit hard about this meeting, saying that this is not a joke and it will obviously have political repercussions in the state because all the party workers are fighting on the streets. But if you are meeting, if you are having closed door meetings, it is going to create rift in MVA partners. So obviously Sharad Pawar is expected to come out and speak about it. We need to wait and see that when he does that.
Thank you very much, Ritwik, for joining us on that. Well, Sharad Pawar, Ajit Pawar meeting behind closed doors, a secret meeting in Pune, that's really led to huge speculations and unease within political sphere. If a former chief minister from Congress is to be believed, then Ajit Pawar made two specific offers to NCP patriarch Sharad Pawar. While Ajit Pawar has refused to talk about such an offer, as per the ex-chief minister, Sharad Pawar would be accommodated in the union cabinet as agriculture minister or chairperson of the Niti Aayog. Reportedly, even daughter Supriya Sule has been given the same offer. This comes even as Sharad Pawar reiterated that there was no confusion regarding his NCP faction having any truce with the ruling BJP. Now, Sharad Pawar's meeting with Ajit Pawar in Pune has disconcerted his Mahavikas Agadi allies, clearly Uddhav Thackeray's Shiv Sena faction as well as the Congress. Slamming Ajit Pawar, UBT Sena leader Sanjay Raut has now claimed that Ajit Pawar has no authority to offer berths.
अजितदादा वारंवार का शरद पवार साहेबांना भेटतात, तर दोन पक्ष फुटल्यानंतर सुद्धा भाजपाची परिस्थिती सुधरत नाही आणि अशा परिस्थितीमध्ये त्यांना शरद पवारांच्या जे मॉस लीडर आहे त्यांच्या मागे जनाधार आहे अशा नेत्यांची मदत मिळाल्याशिवाय त्यांचा लोकसभेतील आकडा वाढू शकत नाही. त्यामुळे त्यांच्या मागे लागलेत. आणि दुसरं कारण असं आहे की नरेंद्र मोदीजींनी अट घातली या देशाच्या पंतप्रधानांनी, शरद पवार साहेब आले तरच तुम्हाला मुख्यमंत्री होता येईल, अन्यथा तुम्हाला मुख्यमंत्री जे काही तुम्ही स्वप्न बाळगून आहे ते काही पूर्ण होणार नाही, अशी ही माहिती समोर येते आहे.
आदरणीय पवार साहेबांनी स्वतः सांगितलं, पवार परिवारातले ते सर्वात वडीलधारी ज्येष्ठ आहे मी त्यांचा पुतण्या लागतो नात्यानी आणि घरातल्या व्यक्तींना भेटणं याच्यात कारण नसताना मीडियावाले त्याला इतकी वेगळ्या प्रकारची प्रसिद्धी देतात आणि त्याच्यातून गैरसमज निर्माण होतात. त्याच्यामुळं त्या भेटीला आपण फार काही वेगळं तिथं घडलं असं समजण्याचं कारण.
अजित पवार इतने बड़े नेता नहीं है कि जो शरद पवार सबको ऑफर दे सकते. अजित पवार को पवार साहब ने बनाया है, पवार साहब को अजित पवार जी ने नहीं बनाया है. 60 साल से भी ज्यादा समय पार्लियामेंट्री पॉलिटिक्स में पवार साहब ने बिता चुके हैं. महाराष्ट्र के 4 बार मुख्यमंत्री, केंद्र में मंत्री रहे बार. उनका जो कद और अवदाय बहुत बड़ा है. तो ये अजित पवार, हसन मुशर्रफ, ये जूनियर लोग हैं, पवार सबको ऑफर देंगे. ऐसा कभी होता है क्या राजनीति में?
Now remember, Sharad Pawar had denied any tie-up with the BJP after his meeting with Ajit Pawar. Here's a listen.
राष्ट्रवादी काँग्रेस पक्षाच्या राजकीय धोरणामध्ये भाजपच्या वरचं असोसिएशन हे बसत नाही आणि त्यामुळं आम्ही कुणीही भाजपच्या बरोबर नाही. राष्ट्रवादी काँग्रेस पक्षाचा राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष म्हणून मी स्वच्छ भूमिका या ठिकाणी सांगतो की राष्ट्रवादी काँग्रेस पक्ष भाजपच्या बरोबर जाणार नाही.
All right, coming up on the other side of a short break now, Delhi Congress versus Aam Aadmi Party. The fight rages on with the Congress leader calling AAP a B team of the BJP yet again. Says it wanted services control only to shield corrupt netas.
From the biggest conflict zones
we are at the Hostel Airbase and this is
to the biggest international moments, a reporter with India's flag on his sleeve and an unrelenting eye on terror, defense and national security, on the road, up the heights, in the trenches. He brings you stories that must unite us, because when it's national interest, it's India first. Monday to Friday 10 p.m. only on India Today TV.
There are very few couturiers in this country who do men's fashion with that much finesse. Two of the most impressive one, to my mind, happen to be Kunal Rawal and Shantanu and Nikhil. Their showcases were a class above the rest as far as men couture is concerned. And what's interesting is gender was not about what was stereotypically considered to be men's clothing was also something that you saw women wear and vice versa. Here's a look.
Kunal Rawal's showcase was extremely high on energy with Punjabi music grooving and Ranbir Kapoor show-stopping with a Kapoor swag. We saw women in outfits that have traditionally and conventionally been worn by men, and that is why we call it gender no bar. Impressive.
I really admire him as a designer. I have always, seen the kind of innovative design he does. His cuts are always very masculine. He's always pushing the boundaries. He's really blended, something which is very close to our culture with something modern. And I think where he also takes his inspirations from is very truly Indian.
And that is something I'm hedging my bets. I put it on the biggest clothes horse. Now I'm hoping it works.
Shantanu and Nikhil's showcase interestingly had bridal silhouettes that explored exaggerated ornate veils paired with bejeweled capes and gloves, just like in the Gatsby era.
There is a lot of romance that I see in you, and this collection was all about that. It was about romance, it was sexy, it was subdued in terms of its glamour, And I feel both of them had to do justice, and both of them are so good looking.
Rajesh Pratap Singh stands out of the pack with the kind of rebellion we saw in his work.
Now, Neoma in Ladakh is one of India's most strategically important air bases. It's closest to the line of actual control. This air base is being expanded for fighter jet operations. India has now also deployed Huron Mark II long endurance drones, and now the country will be able to see on the other side of the hill. But as India and China at the moment are on speaking terms, both the sides are now strengthening their defences also. Manjeet Singh brings you this report.
Years into the India-China standoff in Ladakh, India is ready to put China even more on notice. From modern weapons to infrastructure, the Modi government is leaving no stone unturned now to check Chinese expansionist designs and pile the pressure on that country. As part of an India Today national exclusive, we now tell you about a new fighter aircraft base is now emerging where an old helicopter base once stood in Neoma, very close to the frontier with China. Ever since the 2020 June Galwan clashes in which 20 Indian soldiers and an even greater number of Chinese soldiers were killed during a violent confrontation, India has consistently increased its deployment in restive Ladakh. The Indian Air Force has revealed how it has been swinging into action, pressing its transport aircraft fleet and deploying over 68,000 troops to forward locations and airlifting 90 tanks, 330 infantry fighting vehicles and several artillery guns over the last 3 years. The Indian Air Force has also airlifted critical assets like radars and surface-to-air guided weapon systems to the Ladakh frontier. The deployment of troops, tanks and ammunition continues as a complete de-escalation or de-induction has not happened in the Ladakh sector. New additions to these assets are being currently made. The Indian Air Force has inducted its latest Heron Mark II surveillance drones, which can carry out both strike operations as well as extended surveillance operations on the frontiers with China and Pakistan. Meanwhile, the 19th round of Corps Commander level talks on Monday continues to aim to resolve the ongoing military standoff between the two nuclear neighbors. India is pressing for disengagement of the Chinese army from Depsang